Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you aren't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because today, we are about to dive into a shocking confession that will leave you speechless. I'm your narrator, and today I've got a story so raw, so intimate, it feels like it's coming straight from the heart, and that's exactly where it belongs. We are peeling back the curtain on a confession so personal from Wang's own sister, a confession that pulls back the veil on one of the most heart-wrenching love stories you've never heard, his agonizing heartbreak over Shen Yue. Take a deep breath, brace yourself, because what happened behind the scenes might change how fans see these two forever. So let's begin. The voice that reached out isn't one we hear often. It's Dylan's sister, someone close, someone with access to the emotional undercurrents, someone who watched Dylan's private moments when the cameras were off. She spoke with a tremor in her voice, heartbreak in her words, a protective sadness over someone she knows so well. In her confession, she revealed that Dylan had always carried a hopeful smile whenever she mentioned Shen Yue's name, but behind that smile, something far more fragile was breaking. In countless interviews and on set, his charm and light-hearted teasing never betrayed a crack. But she saw it. She saw the way his smile wouldn't reach his eyes after the rapt shooting, the way his posture seemed to bury into itself. He'd laugh, sure, but it was a brittle laugh, a shield. It was all for show. None of it reached his core, the part of him that ached. When Shen Yue wasn't around, he drifted, eyes searching for something that wasn't there anymore. He became quieter in small moments, more reflective, and if you looked close enough, you would have noticed that the world he presented to the public wasn't the same as the world he inhabited alone. The sister's voice cracked as she described her brother's routine. He'd wake before dawn that came quietly over their shared apartment in Shanghai. He'd lie there, framed by the soft glow of street lights outside, just staring at the ceiling. There, in that dark early hour, his mind would wander, not to lines of dialogue or upcoming shoots, but to memories of Shen Yue's soft laughter in the corridor, the way her hair caught the breeze, the warmth of her hand against his chest as they greeted each other. These aren't things he posted on social media, shared in interviews, or smiled through in the spotlight. These are private heartbreak moments, and his sister knew because she saw the aftershock. The confession continued in whispered tones. Shen Yue wasn't someone who had cast him aside cruelly. She was kind, deliberate in every action, genuine in every interaction. But that made it worse, because there was no betrayal, no villainy. There was only an unspoken void growing between them, a gap widening in silence. Her sister explained that Dylan had believed, deep down, that if he smiled harder, worked harder, tried more, something would set them right again, but the silence grew more persistent. He waited, painfully, for something that didn't come. That void became an ache that came with every breath. He tried to bridge it. He crafted messages in his head he never sent. He drafted text at midnight, held his thumb over at send, and then, with crippling hesitation, suicidally deleted them unopened. He played over every interaction, every joke, every glance shared with Shen Yue, wondering what shifted, when it shifted, and most desperately, whether he could rewind and fix it. His sister said he carried a daily ritual of guilt, asking himself, was it something I said? Something I did? Something I failed to do? And yet, to the outside world, Dylan stayed the same golden boy, charming, polished, composed. The contrast between public joy and private anguish was like a fractured mirror, every shard reflecting a part of him, bright, confident, sad, hopeful. In the glare of stage lights, he found safety. In the quiet of night, he confronted agony. His sister recalled instances when he stopped mid-conversation, gaze lost, as he heard Shen Yue's name mentioned by a fan or interviewer. He'd attempt to disguise the pang, cracking into a smile that trembled around the edges. She'd noticed the subtle flinch, the way his eye would flicker, invisibly. And after photographers left, after the makeup was washed away, after the crew packed up, she'd find him alone in the dressing room. There, he'd let the mask fall, and she'd be there to catch him. In those moments, She'd hold him as he confessed how painful letting go was. She said he'd whisper, voice ragged, "I know it's done. I know it's over. But letting you go, letting us go, that's something else entirely." His sorrow wasn't melodramatic or loud. It was an understated devastation, carried in the quiet, eyes closed, back against the wall, the world shrinking around him. The sister also spoke of how Dylan tried to redirect the echo of heartbreak into art. In every role he chose, she detected a thread, an emotion that bled in small ways, a lonesome edge to a gaze, a hesitation in alignment to convey joy. He sought refuge in characters who carried loss, empathy, longing. She believed he was trying to exorcise the memory of Shen Yue by playing poetry in motion, treating scripts like therapy. Even in roles that weren't supposed to be tragic, there was a softness, a restrained ache. And fans wondered what it was in his performance that felt so grounded, so achingly real. Only she knew, it was heartbreak turned into art. She described how he stayed awake one night, winter cold creeping through uncurtained windows. He sat at the edge of his bed and whispered into his phone, "I just wanted you to know I never stopped hoping." No answer came. Then he gripped the phone, knuckles white. Her heart broke when she heard. Not because he called, but because the truth was in that confession. He was alone in that moment, still wishing. That entire apartment held its breath. And it was only then, watching him, that she realized the heartbreak wasn't something that ended with a film wrap, that some wounds follow you into your unguarded moments, into the hush of solitary midnight. And yet, there was tenderness. The sister said Dylan never lost faith in love, even as heartbreak bruised him, he believed in connection. He didn't shut down, he simply softened. His openness remained, but now it was tempered by pain and understanding. He posted pictures of snow, of moonlight on studio walls, small insights into his inner world. Without directly mentioning her, he'd captioned them with lines like, "Some silences are more painful than words," or "Missing someone doesn't stop with time." Those captions felt like Morse code, messages in emotional ink. Fans scrambled to decode them, but only those close could feel the depth of longing between the lines. Reading their exchanges. Likes, comments, gentle emotive emojis, you can see the community attempting to comfort him. You can feel the empathy pouring through screens. But his sister said it was all a surface wave. The undertow was unseen and overwhelming and unforgiving. "He's not looking for pity," she told me through trembling words, "just for healing, just for peace." Healing, she insisted, takes time. He's learning to forgive himself and to let go of what he can't change. In one particularly haunting recollection, she recounted a day when Dylan and a friend sat at a cafe terrace, sipping coffee in the afternoon sunlight. The conversation turned to dreams, future roles, travel, laughter. Dylan's friend joked, "You'll be happy again soon, right?" Dylan forced a smile and watched steam curl around his cup. He nodded, not looking up, and said, "I will. I just, not yet."